Hello, 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 hello. It's Endem over here. I'm here to do a review on the Mythic Tarot. It is a very big box. I mean, look at this. Look at my hand. I mean, it almost takes 3 to 4 of my hands to even cover the box up. It's a bit thick, but not, you know, it's not anything you can't handle. I am definitely a fan of its artwork. It's what attracted me to it. Briefly, I'll read the brief summary. So it says the classic bestseller is now re-illustrated. The Mythic Tarot was first published in 1989 and has been an international success with tarot readers ever since. And I might agree with this. Actually, not that I might. I will agree with this. I was first introduced to the original deck by a family member of mine. So I have seen this. I have seen this work before. So I'm interested in maybe possibly one day sitting down with my family member who introduced me to this deck before, and hopefully they still have it. Right? And then I'll be able to make some comparisons. I promise, guys, if I do get that opportunity, we don't live anywhere near each other, but if I do get that opportunity, I will probably go live. It'll be a big deal. All right, I'll continue reading. So the card illustrations depict the gods and goddesses, heroes and heroines of the Greek myths. Familiar archetypal characters whose experiences perfectly mirror the shifts and patterns of our lives today. For this new edition, the entire deck has been re-illustrated by Giovanni Caselli, an artist with a passion for the classical world, its literature, symbols, and myths. The new Mythic Tarot book explains everything you need to know to become an accomplished tarot reader. The new cards are stunning and they breathe fresh life into this classic deck. With images rich in psychological insight, the mythical legends they depict provide wisdom and guidance for seekers of personal growth. Now, I will tell you guys, remember, I don't go by the book. It's not a thing for me. Honestly, I have books on my deck of my decks because it comes with. But I tell you, if I had the choice to just buy the deck, that's what I will do. As I'm not sure if I've how many videos I've posted. I can't speak today. I don't know how many videos I have posted of my unboxings before, but I go by my bond with the deck. So if based on how I bond with my decks, that's how I do my readings. Remember, I'm an intuitive. I do, have to take some classes here and there. I have a certification or two. To me, that's totally irrelevant. But again, it's because of who I am and what my lineage is. This is not something that I woke up one day and said, hey, let me try this out. Okay, my lineage goes centuries back. So let us open this box, and believe it or not, I didn't cheat this time. I do tend to open the box first and try to look for things. I'll do this so that you guys can see it. But this time I actually said I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna make it until I'm able to do the unboxing. So here we are. This is the book that I'm not gonna spend any time on. It's a pretty thick book. Look at that. Interesting. One of the things that I'm gonna tell you right now that I like about this is the rainbow. I like the rainbow. Definitely wondering how I'm gonna bond with this card, with this deck, because I am, as you know, my readings are, they're not for men and women. I do work with same-sex relationships. Um, so I wonder if if I'll be able to tap a little into that. So I'm interested in seeing what's gonna happen. So guys, here is the deck. Look at that. I'm trying to get the glare away. There we go. How pretty, right? And look how simple. See, this is what I'm saying. This, you know, back in the days, the decks were not so fancy, for lack of better words, as they are now. You know, I have some really fancy decks, but this is what it's all about. Before, everything was just so much simpler, you know. So let's see. How can I break this open? Okay, guys, I'm gonna use my teeth. Don't judge me. Okay. We have an opening. Oh. Oops. All right. Guys, so when I have a new deck, it's a pretty big deal to unbox them. It's like you're meeting, you know, your boyfriend, oh, for the first time. You know the butterflies that you get, like, oh my God, what am I gonna feel? Am I gonna really like him? Oh my God. That's kind of similar, for at least for me, you know. All right, so this is the rest of the box. Nothing else is in here, so we'll put that back here. Okay, and here we go, guys. We have our deck. So I will go through some stuff. It's pretty much what I look for. First and foremost, it's not an illuminated deck. So it could be, it can get damaged easily. Definitely, I doubt any water can fall on this without it pretty much start the process of falling apart. I can definitely see that after some rough shuffles, or once I start using this deck too much, you know, age is gonna start showing up. What else do I see? I get, because the colors are a little creamish, it gives me the sense of tradition, of old times. It makes me feel a little bit like home, you know. Let's see what else. And here in the back, all you have is, you pretty much have the pentacles, you have the swords, you have the wands, and you have the cups, and then the pattern is repeated all throughout. I do find it interesting that in each corner they have the pentacles. I think that's pretty interesting, but you know, I'm not a fan of paganism, but I'm pretty sure this is not the purpose. So excuse me, it's just simple. Look how simple that is. That is like so pretty. Look at that. That's just, it's just so simple. So let's see really quick. I'm just gonna go through some of the cards. Look at the Empress. See, I tell you, Empress is always pregnant. To me, the Empress is pregnancy most of the time. No life, for sure. Now, again, I've done so many readings, I'm not sure if it's something that I did, you know, to post, or if it was a private reading, but I know that I mentioned a couple of times that for me, the Emperor has the world in his hand. For some decks, you don't see, you're not able to really identify the world, but in this one, you definitely can, right? Now, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how much I like the High Priestess. So to me, I think the High Priestess is just beautiful. But here in this deck, the High Priestess is sad. She almost looks like she was left at the altar. Like, she just doesn't look like she's in her best condition. Again, the Hierophant, half man, half horse type of deal. Not a fan of it. But we'll work with it. The Lovers, interesting. See, this is what I'm saying about this deck. You know, the Lovers normally has a couple. It has a man and a woman. Here we have three women, we have one man. He has the apple in his hand, so it's like, it makes me think of the Adam and Eve story, just a little more modernized. And it's just interesting. If you look at the three women, one has a world, one has a cup, the other one has the swords. It's like, you know, who does he choose? The Chariot, I mean, they're hauling ass. You know, the I apologize for the wording, but if you look at other decks, you know, the Chariot, they look still. This one, he's in action. Like, you're running, okay? Now, one of them has a tongue out. I don't know what that's about. That's where we at. Justice, pretty typical. Now, here we go. Temperance, look at that rainbow. I really, really like the rainbow, right? Strength literally shows, it literally shows that the guy has strength, right? Look at the lion's face. Now, the Hermit is pretty interesting because I wouldn't say most, you know, I don't have all the card decks in the world, but the Hermit normally hides his face, and he's showing it. So, the Wheel of Fortune. Makes me think of Rumpelstiltskin real quick. Hanged Man, interesting. I mean, how hanged really is he? I like this because I've always said that the Hangman is just a mental block. You know, death. I don't know what this is about down here, but you know, the Devil, pretty self-explanatory. You know, I actually see a connection here. It's almost half goat, half human, which makes me think of, where is it? The Hierophant. Interesting, right? The tower's pretty interesting. It kind of zooms out from the typical tower. The tower normally just shows the tower. This one is has more to it. Look how pretty the star card is. That is super pretty. That is so pretty. Now for the moon, again, I understand that they're trying to do the whole, you know, the different faces of the moon, but I'm just not sure how I feel about that. I mean, hello, sun. I can look at the sun card all day. Pretty handsome guy. Judgment, I like. The World, I like. And you know, again, if you see closely here, normally the World, again, I'm using the word normally loosely, but they have two faces. And in here, it represents a man and a woman. And if you notice carefully, the woman has a breast, the man doesn't. Okay? And then we go into the elements. So, I mean, we have the King of Pentacles, the Queen, the Knight, pretty self-explanatory. I do like the fact that the Knight looks young. And then the Page looks pretty young as well. I do like the fact that the Page of Pentacles has a real picture of family and bond. And oh, the Six of Swords is pretty interesting. I feel like this Six of Swords is reaching its destination, right? And again, you know, this is more for the tarot enthusiastic people that make these observations. But I'm pretty sure I have at least 2 decks where the Six of Swords, all you see is ocean. Like, you don't see a destination. But here you can kind of see the destination. Look how freaky the Seven of Swords look. And then this Five of Wands, you know, it's just, I don't know. Again, I'm a fan of this deck because it was introduced to me before, but I definitely do see a couple of things I'm not 100% on. I'm not sure if I like, but then I have amazing things that I love about this deck. Look at the Two of Wands. Look who's in the background, the Hierophant. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, for the most part, I will tell you that I will give this deck an 8 out of 10 for sure. I know I'm gonna be using this deck mostly because of my, I guess, not attachment, but I've, you know, it's been around, at least in my lineage for before I, you know, decided to become a tarologist. So I am happy that I finally was able to get my hands on it. I like the feel of it. The size is pretty decent, and I have small hands, as you guys obviously know. So, you know, shuffling is gonna be okay. Better than most of these huge cards that are being made nowadays. But even when you're shuffling, you can hear like the rustic feeling because it's not laminated work, which again, it's a good and a bad, because of course it means that you know, it may not last long as a laminated piece of work, but it makes you feel, at least for me, I feel like I'm connecting to ancestry. It makes me feel, I don't want to use the word old. I don't know why I'm not able to express what I'm trying to say. I just feel connected to my roots a little bit more, because you know what? Look at it this way. You know how some people, they prefer books, like the actual book, to hold it, the way it smells, the way it feels, versus reading a book out of a Kindle, right? Or an iPad. That's how I feel with this deck. Okay. So, you see, like, I really don't like how that looks. You know, these situations going on over here. I'm not a fan of that. But that's just me and them. You know, I work with light. That's my thing. I'm very big on that. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see. You know, half mermaid, half man kind of deal. So I'm looking forward to doing some readings with these cards, because I am definitely interested in seeing how I, in them, am going to use this deck of cards, because like I said, I was introduced to them before, but I never got the chance to do a reading myself with the older deck that my family member had. So, you know, it's pretty interesting for me. Let's see what we come up with. Let's see how I bond. I'm now gonna start my process of bonding with the deck. I'm obviously gonna charge it and meditate over it first, and then I'll start bonding with it, and then maybe next week, or I don't know, or maybe I'll do next week's weekly readings with it. It depends if I feel connected. If not, I'll probably use it for the week after. But other than that, guys, I really love how this feels. It makes me feel, it makes me feel really good. I like see like the Four of Cups. See, like you have different generations talking. um I like this. I feel like it's pretty realistic. It just brings me back home, I guess. So I really like this deck, guys. I am definitely looking forward to bonding and using them, using it, the deck, to do some of your readings. And of course, guys, whenever you guys are booking a reading with me, should you want me to use a specific deck, you can definitely let me know, so that I can have the deck ready when I'm doing your reading. This deck, again, it's called the New Mythic Tarot. Okay, guys, I thank you for watching this unboxing, and I am so excited to see what this deck is going to bring and what messages is it gonna have for you guys. Okay, so again, thank you guys. Please hit the subscribe button, and I completely want to stand in a place of gratitude for all the love and support that you guys have shown me in them. Have a good one, guys.